The Board of Trustees of the KairaCLO Conservation and Leadership Organization, KairaCLO, on Wednesday, April 24, 2024, organized a day-long symposium centered around the theme of waste to energy. The event aimed to address waste management and explore opportunities for transformation in the Gambia. This symposium is part of KairaCLO centenary celebrations commemorating the birth of Sir Dawda Kairaba Bajawara, the father of the nation and the first president of the Republic of the Gambia. Held at a local hotel in Bakau, the gathering brought together government officials, including the Secretary General and party leader of the United Democratic Party, lawyer Usainu Dabo, as well as members of the private sector and other dignitaries. Professor Sidati Yafa, Deputy Vice Chancellor of the University of the Gambia and Director of WASCAL Gambia, expressed unwavering support for KairaCLO. He emphasized the organization's commitment to achieving positive outcomes for the Gambia and its citizens. Additionally, Professor Yafa reflected on the environmental contributions and memories of the late Sir Dawda Kairaba Bajawara.
Sir Dawda, the late Sir Dawda, had a vision way before the United Nations conceived of setting up Biodiversity Convention in 1993. Sir Dawda had a vision 16 years before that, in 1977, when he came with this proclamation, the Banjul Declaration. It is very important that we, the Gambians, embrace this from now up to posterity, because it is the Gambian vision that contributed, in my opinion, to the setting up of the Intergovernmental Conference on Biodiversity by the United Nations in 1993 in Nairobi, Kenya. Sir Dawda, yes, professionally he was a veterinarian, but he had the vision of how we should protect our flora and fauna. This is very, very important. And the younger generations, those who are younger than me, and those who are younger than Honorable Member Tamedu and others amongst ourselves, I want you to pick this up from here, up to posterity, that this is very, very essential because it protects our lives and livelihoods everywhere in the country, everywhere in Africa, and everywhere in the world. And that's why WASCAL, which is relating to climate change education in West Africa, has adopted a curriculum, a PhD program on climate change and biodiversity, which is hosted at University of Felix Houphouët-Boigny in Cote d'Ivoire. WASCAL also saw this vision, and the university saw this vision. And I want to report to you guys that I bring greetings to you from the Vice Chancellor of the University of the Gambia, Professor Herbert Robinson. He is very interested in supporting KairaCLO in its efforts to sensitize Gambians in biodiversity conservation.
The symposium featured thematic presentations by resource persons covering topics such as waste composition and generation in the Gambia, waste collection and disposal, and opportunities for waste transformation through reuse, recycling, and circular economic approaches. Bubu Pate Jallo, speaking on behalf of the Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, highlighted the government's policies and interventions related to waste management in the Gambia.
In this country, the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, through the NDC, has identified some activities that will contribute to reduction of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. And some of those, there is this waste management activity that is in the NDC, and it is going to reduce emissions of methane, particularly in very, very, very dramatically. And we are going to see that some of that is implemented by the councils and other civil society organizations. So The integrated waste management mitigation measures, as it is known, will support Gambia's efforts in the avoidance of emissions of 405 gigagrams of CO2 equivalent by 2025, and about 497 gigagrams CO2 by 2030. That is the target that this country has is included in that mitigation measure, so that by those dates we are going to reduce methane emissions from the waste sector by that amount. You must remember the NDC of the Gambia is really voted as one of the best NDC that is going to lead this country and also globally to 1.5. And that one has been acclaimed globally. The Gambia's NDC is a very good NDC. And we are going to launch that NDC by next month.
Research indicates that in 2023, waste was the second largest contributor to greenhouse gas emissions in the Gambia, accounting for approximately 23% after fossil energy emissions, which stood at 70%. Notably, around 95% of the waste generated originates from household and commercial activities. James Bahum, representing the president of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, shared insights from the private sector's perspective on the symposium's theme.
New ideas have emerged, however, to create opportunities for using waste, transforming it into energy, clean energy mostly. And that is where I believe the private sector must work with government to build not only the necessary infrastructure, the processing plants, the decomposition, the use of both wet and dry pollutants to create electricity, to create heat, to help to advance our aspirations for greater industrialization, and so forth and so on. Some of the benefits of this is that the opportunity only to create jobs, which is a critical question that we have to answer. Create jobs for young people who are not in education, not in training, not in employment. And these people need to be skilled up so that they can participate in the economy, in their own sectors, different sectors, enlarge the economy, improve the chances and opportunities for industrialization by creating an individual or transforming them into agents of change and development so that the young people can play their rightful part in development. So we hope that with the collaboration of government, creating the right environment, creating the conducive environment for a partnership based on the public, the private, to come together, and in fact the third sector, civil society organizations, come together to formulate policies that would bring these aspirations to reality.
The symposium's theme drew inspiration from the visionary message articulated by Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara in the Banjul Declaration nearly 5 decades ago. Reflecting on this, what valuable insights could the Gambia, Africa and the global community have gained had they heeded this warning? Moreover, how can they effectively utilize waste management strategies to foster a circular economy and strive for a cleaner environment within their societies? Reporting for Kerfatu, I am Landin Sise.